Hi, it's June, it's Pride Month, which means it's perfect time to come out. And I would like to come out as bisexual. Actually, I came out for the first time like 10 days ago. I was in the Istanbul airport waiting for my plane to go back home. I was on a 5-day trip to Prague, the Czech Republic, which was an absolutely fantastic trip. And I even might make a video about it. If you want to leave a comment, do you want a video about my trip to Prague? So I was on my way back to my home country through Czech Republic, and I had to wait for my plane for like 7 hours in Istanbul airport. I was just sitting there. I was just watching some YouTube videos, contemplating, and I finally realized that I am accepting myself. Yes, I had problems with accepting myself, not because of homophobia or something. I'm absolutely not homophobic. I was actually in a lgbtq plus organization a couple of years ago that supported lgbtq plus people, but I had to leave the organization because I started receiving death threats, and I just left it out of fear for my life. So the reason why I could not accept myself is because I really felt like an impostor. Like, I read and heard lots of queer stories of queer people, and in most of these stories, people suffered with their identities through their childhoods, especially through their teenage years. And I did not suffer at all. Through most of my life, I thought I was perfectly straight heterosexual. I felt heterosexual through most of my life. And to be honest, the first time I started doubting that, the first time I had a crush on someone of my own gender, was when I turned 18 years old. When I was 18, I had this really nice Russian guitar teacher. He was a Russian, handsome as heck. His guitar skills were fantastic and his singing was good. He was around 30 years old, I guess, maybe 27, 28, something like that. So I had a crush on him. This feeling was weird and confusing, but I didn't hate this feeling because back when I was 18, I was already super progressive. And in the next year and a half or so, it was 2019, 2020, I had two more crushes. First was on the actor Jake Gyllenhaal. I watched most of his filmography. I was staying at home during coronavirus pandemic, and I watched most of his filmography. And the next crush I had was on Joey Tribbiani from Friends show. I watched all 10 seasons in like 3 months. It's the show that is recommended to anyone who wants to learn English language. So I was watching the show to improve my language, and I really liked Joey Tribbiani, my absolute favorite character of the show, seriously. So I had 3 male crushes in the span of like year and a half, but I still didn't think of myself as bisexual. I thought those were just weird infatuations and I will get over. That's what I thought, but then I didn't have any crushes because for the next few years, and the next male crush that I had was Guess. And if you thought about Angel Dust, you were absolutely correct. I watched Has Been Hotel season 1 when it premiered in January, February 2024, and I had a severe crush on Angel Dust. This person just made me realize that I actually kinda like guys with feminine traits. Around that time, I actually started accepting my bisexuality, because before I thought, well, I don't really have crushes on men. I prefer women over men, so I'm probably not bisexual. But Angel Dust made me realize that I like a specific kind of man. And I realized that it's the same with women. I don't like every woman that I see. I have specific types of women that I like, and the same with men. And that's perfectly okay when you prefer women but also like men. Like, if that's a spectrum, and I believe that scientifically speaking, sexuality would be, genetically speaking, it would be more like a spectrum. Like, neurodivergent. So on that spectrum, I am, if this part of the spectrum is liking women and this is men, I am somewhere here closer to liking women. But that doesn't mean I'm not bi, because I like a certain type of men, and that's what angel dust made me realize. What I'm saying is probably pretty hectic and unorganized right now, but I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say. And then the character who absolutely convinced me of my bisexuality was another animated character, and this time it was Envy from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I was meaning to watch the show for quite a lot. I actually have a list of the best movies and the best anime shows that I need to watch in my life, and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is pretty high with shows like Death Note and Attack on Titan, both of which I already watched. So this year I finally started watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, the 2009 version. I'm not sure if I should watch 2003, I don't know. 2009 is perfectly great, and it's a really good show, and Envy is my absolute favorite character. The way he looks, the way he behaves, his mannerism. Well, probably not he, since the character is genderless, but he has no gender. He's non-binary, since he's homunculus and he can turn into anyone. So homunculi have no standard gender, but still his form, he looks like a young man, young guy, and his revealing clothes, the way, as I said, his mannerism, the way he behaves, his sassiness. I really liked him as a character, and I almost finished the show, and when Roy Mustang almost killed him, it was absolutely heartbreaking. I understand Envy is an absolutely terrible character. He committed terrible, heinous crimes. He caused the genocide and death of lots of people, but I really liked him, and all of that finally made me accept myself. Yes, I think I am accepting myself. I don't know if my life will change much, but yes, still, just needed to say that, out loud, and it actually feels pretty good, I guess. And this is a pretty spontaneous, unscripted video. I just decided to get my camera, my microphone, and share my thoughts, since it's June 1st. Where I'm living now, it's a dull weather. It's gonna rain probably, so it doesn't look like June, unfortunately, and I'm pretty cold sitting here in my room. So yeah, if you have an interesting story, please do share. I would love to hear, honestly, and just leave a comment, share what you think about this video, and subscribe this channel, I guess. And thanks for your attention. I really appreciate it. If you watch it till this moment, if you watch it till this moment, well, thank you for spending your time to listen to random thoughts by some random guy who can barely communicate in English. And okay, see you, and hopefully see you next time. Bye.